What's up? What's up? So I am Body Trace Fit, otherwise known as Tracy. You can find me on social media under Instagram on Body Trace Fit, here on my YouTube channel at Body Trace Fit. Today we just gonna jump right in. Starting off the new year, everyone has things goals they're trying to reach in reference to fitness, and everybody's talking about diets they want to try, all of the above. So I asked some people to mention some topics they wanted me to talk about, and this is what we're doing today. But there were a few, so today I'm just going to kind of touch base on ways to rev up your metabolism, talk about some detox or weight loss supplements, detox teas, and taking weight loss pills, and then also to talk about how to kick sugar cravings. So going right in, I'm just going to start off with general. When you're getting ready to do anything, you guys, don't just do it because everybody else is doing. Please do your research behind things. See what works for you. As far as you may have some health ailments or anything like that. So you always want to check ahead of time to make sure you're not taking something somebody else is based off of what worked for them without knowing that how it may affect your body. So we'll say that. But on the natural side of ways to actually give you knowledgeable things to do to rev up your metabolism. So metabolism, we all want to have a faster metabolism. The reason we want to have that faster metabolism because it will help us kickstart whatever those weight goals are, in the sense of you want a faster metabolism to help you burn fat. You want a faster metabolism in the sense of it, you just feel better just overall. So this faster metabolism that we're going to talk about, just some ways to get that. Number one thing that I love to do is to build muscle, in the sense of revving up that metabolism. The higher your muscle content is, your muscle tone is, the faster your metabolism works, in the sense of, if you want to break it down in retrospect, as far as pounds and calorie intake. So every 1 pound of muscle burns at least 6 calories. So in a sense of, when we compare that to fat, every 1 pound of fat only burns 2 calories. So look at that. That's a great thing to pay attention to when you see somebody eating. A lot of people ask me, because I'm a higher muscle tone, they'll say, well, wow, your calorie intake, your caloric intake is pretty high. You eat a lot of food all the time. Like, how are you eating those things and just burning right through? That's because of the fact my metabolism is so high. So I fuel through a lot faster than a person with a lower body fat percentage and higher fat, because my body is constantly fueling itself up, revving up, looking for a new source of fuel to take in, as far as to keep me moving. So because I have a higher lean mass, I have to feed my body, in layman's terms, a lot more than a person that has a lower lean mass. So that's a great thing, in the sense of, I always laugh with people that love to eat. Guess what, y'all? Y'all want a higher metabolism. So you want a higher body fat, in that sense that we can feed it. And you're feeding it because your body is burning through a lot more. So also, in a nutshell, I have to take in approximately 3,500 calories a day for me to maintain. I'm an average of 150, 155, give or take. So for me to maintain my weight, I take in approximately 3,500 calories. I do not always do a calorie count, but just trying to give you retrospect on the way that I eat and the amount of food that I eat compared to a person. To say, for instance, a lot of people say, well, I'm looking to lose weight. What's a healthy calorie intake to start at to lose weight, or something like that? We can all say FDA says things as everybody shouldn't be eating less than 1,200 calories and things like that. So give or take, average 1,200 to 1,500 calories to a person looking to lose weight or change their eating habits, in the sense of to see diet change, to see body changes in themselves, will be an average of 12 to 1,500 calories. So 12 to 1,500 calories, in the sense of you're trying to make a change in yourself, and then myself taking in about 3,500 calories. You see the scale there. So if you're a person overweight and you're saying, you know what, wow, if you just start paying attention to your calorie intake, that's the first thing I want to tell you to do. Start paying attention to your calorie intake. So whether you download an app or something to want to get a more tune to know how many calories you're taking in, that's a great way to start, to see, based off of every food item and every meal that you're eating, what your calorie intake is, so you have a better understanding of how you're taking in food, and how you're processing things. So again, talking about revving up this metabolism, building muscle is a great way to rev up the metabolism. Fuel your body with water. Water, everybody. I know you hear people talk about drink water to detox the system, drink water because our body is made of water, all those things. Water is very important to our body with helping us speed up the metabolism. As we are drinking that water is helping us to push out toxins out of our body, therefore helping us to rev up that metabolism. In the same sense as the more food we take in and smaller amount of foods and things like that, our body has to work itself to expel that food to get ready to take in some new food. So in the same sense, we're drinking that more water, we're eating some more smaller meals and the things like that. So also with the thing with the taking in the meals, you got to be in taking into consideration the type of foods that you're eating. Protein. You hear people say that all the time. That's why you see foods trying to list protein as the number one thing and just trying to get you on board with this protein. Yes, the protein is a great thing, a good source of protein, a good source of carbohydrates, and a good source of vegetables at the same time. But that protein, we want that protein to help fuel the muscle, feed the muscle in the sense is what we do. But at the same time, we got to do everything in consideration. Too much of protein, too much of anything, therefore can turn into a lack in the sense of our body starts to store it and go in other places when we overindulge and take too much in. So all these things take consideration as to what you're doing, figuring out, okay, what your goal is, what your fitness or what your fitness goal is, and see what's best for your body in the sense of, are you looking to lose weight? Are you looking to gain more lean mass? Are you looking to gain the muscle tone, all those things like that. A couple of people were asking me what are things for them to gain weight. All of these things to take into consideration as figuring out what your body type is and doing the research behind it as what you need to do and really changing what you've been doing in the past. Whatever you were doing in the past, a lot of times we end up doing the same thing. You say, well, it didn't work for us in the past. Let me go with what somebody else is doing. No, that's not be so quick to go with somebody else is doing. Do some more research on yourself to say, this didn't work for me. Let me start doing something a little different based off of the research that I found. So with that, eating more often in a sense. Eating more often does help you to rev up the metabolism. So a lot of people may say, oh, the studies say I need to eat 5 to 6 meals a day. 5 to 6 meals may not work for your schedule. And then at the same time, we need to pay attention. 5 or 6 meals, it's not that you have to sit down and eat full plates of 5 to 6 meals. It's trying to get you to eat smaller meals, taking in consideration that you're doing things smaller here, taking that time, maybe 2 to 3 hours, then taking in another meal. That's what we're trying to get you to do. That's what they mean by that. But at the same time, not in retrospect to sit here with 5 to 6 dinner size portion plates and then take it in, and then you're wondering, hey, why am I not losing weight? We got to make smarter choices on the things like that we're doing. Everybody, I know you try to pick up an energy drink. You say that's revving up your metabolism. It does for a moment because of that spark and that sugar and things like that. So it gives you that based off of that caffeine, but that's not a long-term success. Another food item people would ask about are spicy foods. Spicy foods is indeed and scientific in its base. Spicy foods do rev up the metabolism. The way it hits the body and your body starts to work in a sense of you're doing an exercise or something like that, metabolism revs up, your body heat is going and you started sweating. That's kind of in the sense of how spicy foods work in retrospect to your body when you're taking that in. So again, going back to that protein, your body burns much more calories when you have that higher protein when dealing with protein than it does with fat calories in a sense. So lean meats as beef, fish, turkey, chicken, tofu, nuts, beans, things like that help you in that sense. Another food item, green tea and oolong tea definitely are caffeine boosters and help to rev up that metabolism. And so what you want to pay attention to definitely is to avoid crash diets. Avoiding these crash diets is going to slow your metabolism down. Because of the simple fact, what we do, you guys, we try this quick diet. Yes, you're going to get quick results from this quick diet. You try this, you don't like it, or you get the results, and you don't get the results after week 2, you do another one. That right there it's not helping your metabolism. Actually, it's putting your body on a whirlwind because you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down, and then you say, whoa, okay, now I'm at a standstill. Now I'm at sedentary. When I started off on this diet, I was at this. Now I'm even higher. Things like that we got to pay attention to. Don't be so quick to jump to that next diet. So the crash diets actually in turn and affect your body very negatively in that sense. So we do not want to fall into that category of just doing a quick diet to say, hey, that's going to help rev up my metabolism. It's actually not. Other substances, as in vitamin D, helps to aid in muscle tissue repair. So that helps to rev up the metabolism because, again, that muscle tissue, that lean mass that we are trying to beat, that we're trying to meet, raise up higher. Eating iron-rich foods is great for carrying oxygen into your muscles to help you burn fat. So all those things right there that we can utilize in the sense of to help us rev up the metabolism. And then definitely, you guys, your workouts, cardiovascular workouts, strength training workouts, things like that, those all help you with the process of the foods that you're taking in and how you're transforming your body with building a higher lean mass, lowering your body fat percentage. All those things are to take into consideration of how to rev up the metabolism. Boom, we're going to jump right into the next one, which someone asked about. How do we go about knocking our sugar cravings? Oh my gosh, everybody has this thing with sugar from alcohol, sugar from carbohydrates. At the end of the day, carbohydrates, so starchy carbohydrates break down into sugar. So all these things we are taking in is sugar. I have a person that I know, they say, oh, I'm not worried about eating no food. I drink my calories. Guess what? That liquor that they're talking about, they're drinking their calories, that's sugar. So they were asking what are ways to knock or beat those sugar cravings? First, we have to identify those cravings, y'all. We have to identify those food stressors that we are dealing with constantly, because when we do not identify and we say, oh, it's not bad, guess what? You're never going to change anything because you're not identifying what the problem is. And then at the same time, as when we identify them, now let's take the next step to say, okay, I know what this is my stressor. I know what this my problem is. So let's find a healthier way to substitute that craving or substitute that thing to say, you know what, I do like my alcohol or I do like my cake and desserts, but you know what, I'm going to minimize that to add this, so therefore I still am satisfying my body in the sense of, okay, don't eat a full cake. If you know, say for instance, you're about to eat 2 slices of cake, that's just maybe your thing, or a slice of cake and some wine. Those things right there, let's say, okay, still feed your body, still give your body what it's craving for in a sense, but make a smarter choice. You say, you know what, I'm going to have my glass of wine, so I'm not going to have my cake, or I'm going to have my cake, so I'm not going to have my glass of wine. Vice versa, doing things like that in a sense of, but also how to stay prepared on top of that when you're dealing with something that's, you know what, say for instance, if you say, hey, I know sugar is my issue. I want to start cutting back on my sugar. To start off with something like this, you don't always want to go cold turkey. Knowing sugar is your issue, say, you know what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to minimize my sugar intake daily. So it could be something as simple as I'm going to make sure I do not take in any refined sugars. It could be something as simple as I want to make sure I do not take any desserts and things like that. Or I want to make sure if I'm doing my fruits, I'm only taking in lower glycemic fruits, glycemic being the sugar content in the fruits. I'm going to take in lower ones, or I'm not going to take in so many. So once you do that, you actually preparing your mind to say, hey, let's make some smarter choices, because I know sugar is my thing and I want to do better with battling these sugar cravings and things like that. So when you actually put it down and look at it in retrospect to say, these are my pros and these are my cons. Wine is my issue. Okay, we're going to, instead of having a bottle of wine, we're going to have 1 glass 2 nights a week. We got cake and desserts and pies are my issues. You know what? Instead of doing that all the time, you know what? Let's try making this sorbet that we freeze on our own and turn it into something healthy. That craving that you have from eating that cake. There's different things we could do as make that flavor taste that same. And I'm being serious, you guys, because these small little things that we don't think about are the things that can help us out of the same old habits that we constantly push ourselves back into. So in the sense of alcohol, you know, alcohol is your thing. That's your thing to go with your girls or your fellas and you go hang out. Guess what? If you want to bring that down some, let's be smart about what we're doing and say, you know what, I'm not going out every night. Friday may be my night that I go out and I enjoy myself at the bar. Or you know what, I'm only going to enjoy myself at home versus going out to the bar. Things like that, even with something in the sense of enjoying myself at home versus the bar, you're going to save a lot more money. So that may be something else that you look at with kicking some of these cravings for sugar or wine or liquor to cut back on. You right now ask and look at it in the budget sense, of saying, you know what, when I go to the bar, I spend an average of $50. Okay, look at it in a budget sense and say, you know what, now when I go to the bar, my budget is only $20 on alcohol beverages. Things like that, those right there are small little things that we could do to take us to the next level mentally and physically. And therefore, we look up 30 days later, your goal may have been to bring your sugar content down. 30 days later, you have now done just that with some small changes that you've made. But just like with something like the sugar, when we're trying to prepare ourselves to get out or break these old habits, it's kind of great to have something else in place to take place of those old habits. So say, for instance, as you know, this sweet craving you always got to have when you get to work, somebody's going to go to the vending machine or somebody's going to have that cake or that cookie or those donuts. Guess what? Prepare something for yourself so you don't have to go ahead and take what they have. So prepare your favorite smoothie. Prepare your favorite yogurt parfait at home and take that with you to work. So therefore, when they go to grab that ice cream, you have your own. Prepare this in a sense of a lot of times when we pay attention, it's this good trick that I always tell people to try. Go 3 days. 3 days with no sugar. 3 days is very hard in the sense of this no sugar that I'm talking of. I'm speaking, do not add any sugar to any of your drinks, whether it's coffee or tea or anything. Do not add any sugar to your foods. If you're a cereal person or a bran person with oatmeal or anything that adds sugar to it, do not consume any desserts or pies or pastries or anything. And then the biggest thing on that is, a lot of people do not understand. Yes, when we're saying do this to really cleanse and kickstart your body, try this one to eliminate the fruits out of this for a 3-day full cleanse of getting rid of your sugar cravings. Is to do something like that. Yes, it is going to make you feel like you're going to go crazy. But the great thing is, if you can't handle that within that 3 days, right there, you already know that you have a serious problem with your intake on sugar. And this is a great thing for you to start cutting back on. So I would say it does get pretty crucial when you go with straight detoxing yourself of sugar, any added sugars, and then even adding fruit in there. That's a huge thing. So if you get to day 1 or day 2 and say, I can't do that. Okay, you know what? It may be, instead of me going with no sugar, no fruit or anything, let me just go with no sweets, no added sugars, no refined sugars or any processed things like that. And then I may be only having 1 fruit a day. Things like that to get you in that sense. Because a lot of people think, say for instance, I'm cutting back on sugar. I don't take in sugar. But then you add stevia, you add Truvia, you add all of these sugar substitutes. Even honey. Yes, honey is supposed to be a healthier one. All these things is still sugar substitutes. So the more that you take in, even if it's a sugar-free, all these things, the more that you take in, the more that your body is craving them. It forms that candida, that thing that just takes over in your body to say, give me more, more, more. And we think we're doing great by saying, and we are, because we're making better choices. We're trying to make smarter choices, but we got to be knowledgeable. The more sugar you take in, the more you crave. So things like that you have to, that refined sugar is a killer. The refined sugar is a killer. So we're trying to work ourselves with eliminating it and minimizing taking so many things with that refined sugar. So it takes us a minute to do that. So even if you have to do one thing at a time, start off with something small. If you're a person that drinks coffee with sugar and cream, guess what, guys? Let's try that black coffee. And a lot of people say, well, I need my coffee in the morning. If you can't do a black coffee without sugar and cream, you need your sugar in the morning because the coffee is for the caffeine. And am I not correct? And then at the same time, it's going to help you make a lot smarter choices because a lot of people that drink that coffee in the morning do not even eat breakfast because of the simple fact their body is satisfied now from that sugar, from that cream and everything, all those processed things they put into the coffee. Sugar is a fake satiety to the body in the sense that if we eat something sweet, And our body will take that in and says, hey, I'm satisfied. In the sense of, you know what, you haven't even eaten any food, but you were just sitting here saying you were starving. You took this coffee or you took this Snickers and you put it in, and now your body is satisfied. Because it's funny how they do the Snickers commercial. The Snickers commercial, how they'll have the angry person sitting there and they're having all these issues or whatever. They turn into a different person. Somebody hands them over a Snicker, then they're, oh, now I'm back to normal. Hello, they just showed you what that sugar does to your system. That sugar gave you that satisfaction to say, oh my gosh, I'm alive again. Is that correct? No, we do not want that, because guess what? The more you put that in, the more the body is going to continue to crave it. So in the sense of your body is going through those things, so no fruit at all. So if you want to do a complete cleanse in the sense of eliminating, trying to minimize your sugar intake, definitely. I said for the first 3 days, go with starting eliminating the sugar out of your system. And then to take it up a notch, we want to try 3 full days of no processed sugar, no refined sugars, and no fruit. Because fruit, yes, it's a natural fruit, but it still derives our body to want that sugar. So for no fruit for those 3 days, it is pretty crucial. So I would tell you, people even go through these things as they say, oh my gosh, I think I'm feeling sick, or I'm feeling I got a headache and things like that. If you start getting that, hey, and it's funny, I'm telling y'all, do this, and even comment on here if you try this for 3 days. You start feeling that shows you right now how bad your body craves that sugar. If you cannot do that for 3 days, that's bad, but it's a good thing, because you now are able to recognize that those cravings, it feels like flu-like symptoms, but it's really your body detoxing itself. Or if you've seen a person detoxing their body of drugs or anything, how they go through the sweats and the things like that, the convulsions, is because their body, something they were taking in on a regular basis, and then you took it away from them. It's like, whoa, I can't. No, there's no way I can function with that. So that's what it does. So I would say start off with something simple that's 3 days. See how your body reacts with 3 days of doing that and no fruit, and see if you can deal with that. If you cannot, guess what? We still want you to keep on with eliminating one thing at a time. Eliminate refined sugars and something as simple as I was just saying. And then the next thing will be, do not take anything. If you're looking at ingredients, something that already has sugar in it, make sure the sugar content is in a single digit. So pay attention to that. So let's look at, if you're trying to kick that sugar, the high sugar intake, if you can eliminate fruit, if you can eliminate the refined sugars in your foods, make other healthier choices as looking at your ingredients, the nutritional facts, and everything that's listed. Well, we have to be mindful of the things that's listed. We may see, oh, it's only 9 grams of sugar in here. But guess what? When you look at the top, that's per serving. Based off of with a lot of things we eat, who only eats 1 serving? A lot of times we do not actually measure the exact serving out. So if it says 9 grams of sugar, if you've eaten 3 servings, okay, you got 27 grams of sugar, y'all. 27 grams of sugar is a lot. So say, for instance, you want to look at something with the sugar content of having the lowest amount of sugar as of 4 or 5 grams. Because if you eat 3 servings, okay, now we are at 12 to 15. If you eat that 1 serving, okay, we're at 4 to 5 grams of sugar. So just try something like that in that sense, and take your body up a notch with now to minimize that fruit intake. Then you might even be a person that, okay, pastries and desserts and things was not your thing, but you pay attention, you indulge on a lot of fruit. Indulging on a lot of fruit, yes, it's a natural fruit, but at the same time, too much of anything can aid in us picking up unwanted weight. So make a choice, as in minimize it to 2 fruit a day. And then cleanse your system if that's too much, to say, can I go 3 days without adding sugar? Can I go 3 days without adding fruit or anything in that sense? So yes, that's what I was saying there. Another thing someone asked about, talking about what was it? Weight loss supplements. Weight loss supplements, because there's a lot of detox teas and weight loss supplements from tablets and things like that. And my opinion on those, definitely, there's a million of them out here. There's some great ones that it could be a detox tea and a weight loss supplement for fat burner. There are natural ones out here. They're natural. There's good. But as I tell anybody, for any of them, do some research to see what's in it, to see how it's going to react to the body. So we're not knocking everything in a sense, but we're not knocking everything at all. But we're saying be knowledgeable about what you're taking into your body, to figure out the ingredients, to see how it's going to work for you and things like that, to see how your body reacts. Because you may be, what's the one that everybody does? The smooth move. Me, I can't take a smooth move. And that right there is a sense of supposed to be a natural detox tea to your body for you to expand or to cleanse out your system and things like that, may help you with weight loss and all of the above. But me, my body, that's too strong for my system. I tried it once, thought I was about to die, and I will not take it again. But that's just something that's just throwing a name out there that people do take. I know a lot of people in the fitness industry, they have some great natural teas, and a lot of what is it, celebrities, they promote a lot of them. Guess what, y'all? We got to stop with that celebrity thing, because just because the celebrity is promoting it does not mean that's what they're doing. So we're not going to name any, but I'm just saying do the research behind it, in the sense that, yes, this can help you along the process of your fitness goal or your fitness journey, whether it's to lose weight, whether it's to lose that stomach fat, that annoying stubborn fat in their bodies. There's some great ones. Supplement that I take is Adrenaline Chase fat burner. That's a natural one. It helps to rev up the metabolism naturally without any caffeine jitters, without leaving you feeling crazy, doing anything like that. So that's on the natural side, as in opinion of something that I've tried, something that I take when I feel like, okay, I need to get through this workout, I don't have any energy, anything like that. I'll go ahead and I'll grab an Adrenaline Chase and I'll take that. But at the same time, with taking in supplements that help to speed up metabolism, you got to be mindful of different other caffeine foods and caffeine things that your body take in, because you could have an issue where you're taking in too much caffeine. So just be mindful of all those things where you're making these choices. I said I wasn't going to keep y'all on. Just wanted to touch base on some topics. My Instagram is @BodyTraceFit. And even under here below, you can comment if there's some other topics you would like me to talk about another day. Just list below, and then I'm going to try to do these on a regular basis to talk about it. Again, I am BodyTraceFit on Instagram. Fitness expert, nutritional coach, all of the above. So any questions you have, please give me a call. Ladies, I do have a great 30-day shred for you guys right now, only $19.99, that you could go ahead and get off my website, www.bodytrace.fit. I'll put it down here in the description as well. And then anything else that you guys are looking for, comment below, ask a question. I'm always here. I appreciate y'all. Peace.